Over the years of running Legacy Farmer, we have had countless people email in and asking one simple question. Hey, I'm a first generation farmer. I'd love to get started. Can you help me with that? Now, inside today's video, we're going to talk about all the problems that you are going to face as a first generation farmer stepping into this world. So the first problem that we run into is that a majority of people that are coming back as a first generation farmer, or maybe they are second generation, but their parents are making them start on their own. So they're having to go through like an FSA loan process or get that, first time farmer loan or whatever that may be there. The biggest problem that we run into is that people don't understand the pool that they're jumping into. And what I mean by that is you're jumping into the water, but you have no idea what sharks are lurking below the surface, right? And those sharks are all the variables in the industry that you have no idea are coming for you or even out there because you have not experienced the exposure to these problems or these mistakes or things happening to really understand what type of pool you're jumping into. So, for example, everybody that's coming back and wants to get into farming from the get-go, they can very simply go to the FSA office and get an FSA beginning farmer loan or whatever it's called. They can get started there. The biggest problem with this, though, is that when you go in and you take that loan, yeah, it seems like a great deal from FSA. It's a super cheap interest rate. Totally get why you would do it. It's a 30 or 40-year term. You're able to get, whatever, $300,000 up to $1 million there to get started in farming. And the FSA wants to promote this program to get people to come back. The problem is, though, most of the time, they're loaning you 100% loan to value, which means if they're loaning you $300,000, you have to provide nothing and they're giving you $300,000, right? And maybe their loan to value is like 90% or something like that, to where you provide some sort of collateral there. The problem with this, though, is let's say you're a young farmer, you're coming back and you get $1 million in debt from FSA or something like that. The challenge that you are going to run into is everything's going to seem great that first year, but the first bad year that you have in farming or ranching, which is obviously in today's market, it's extremely difficult for anybody to get in and just make money right off the bat farming. Even people that have been in the industry for decades are still struggling to make money and profits at today's prices where they're at. But especially for a beginning farmer stepping into this world here, your time frame for mistakes and recovering from mistakes is damn near zero. And what I mean by that is if you have $1 million in debt and you are losing $250,000 per year, for example, that means your burn rate is 4 years. You have 4 years before all of that money is gone and you are literally bankrupt. For first-time farmers, I used $1 million example right there. Even if we did just a $300,000 loan, their burn rate is literally like 1 or 2 years, right? So this is the pool that I'm talking about. Even from a debt load standpoint, as a young farmer coming back, you don't have any idea what pool you're jumping into, because when I start throwing out those big numbers like that, that's what it's going to take to not only get the cows or livestock or be able to rent the acres and stuff that you want to get, but then you also have equipment on top of that, right? There's the infrastructure that you need inside of this industry to build the business and the farm operation that you want is massive. And that is why a majority of first generation farmers will fail coming back into it, because they just don't have the equity on a balance sheet to be able to weather the storms that they are inevitably going to face, nor do they know about these sharks that are lurking below the surface that they can't see. They don't know that they exist. And these are the variables or the problems that are going to come up inside of their journey, inside of this industry, and ultimately take them out. The second piece here is that a lot of those people want to be able and have this idea in their mind that they're going to be able to survive on farm income alone. I do not know one beginning farmer, guys, out of all the people I've talked to over the years, that has been successful in year one. Like literally starting from ground zero, mom and dad weren't there to help, grandma and grandma weren't there to help, nobody helped them. They started from nothing. Those people that are getting in at the day and age that we currently live in with grain prices and the cost of inputs and cost of equipment and things like that, nobody's going to make money. I mean, it is going to be such a long process there, and it is going to require hours of your time. So the hard part of this is if you're a first-time farmer coming back, or maybe you're in your 30s and 40s and you want to get into the industry, okay, great. So now you have a wife and kids at home. You're going to have to work full-time at your job to be able to pay the bills, and then during nighttime hours is when you're going to be working on the farm. So your wife better get used to not seeing you around the house very often. These are other challenges that are going to cause a lot of stress and anxiety, not only in the business, but in other areas of life as well. And most first-time farmers aren't even thinking about this. They're thinking about how it's going to feel to be farming their own ground and, hey, I'm a farmer and wearing this cap and being able to step in this identity, not thinking about those those second, third, and fourth order consequences that are going to come up just from a family standpoint there of taking on the challenge of building your first farm operation for your family. The last problem that first-time farmers are going to deal with, and like I talked about kind of in the first problem, right? They're jumping into the pool and they don't know where the sharks are. The other problem that they're dealing with is that they're not going to know the people that they need to surround themselves with that are going to help them really navigate these waters and steer the boat to make sure we avoid any potential pitfalls, problems, challenges, things like that they will inevitably face here. And because most people in the industry, they're pretty private, and a new farmer coming back that's stepping into maybe a new county or something like that, you're not going to be looked upon very well by everybody in the county, right? People aren't going to be supportive of you coming in and potentially taking their opportunities or acres or things like that there. So as a young farmer, you're going to have a hard time finding people around you that are actually willing to open up their business insight and their experiences and their knowledge to help you along this path. And that is why, as a young farmer, you're going to have to go searching. And that's one of the big things that we built out on Legacy Farmer is the ability to have a network where people are willing to share this stuff. The benefit of our network is all of our customers are spread all across the country. None of them are in the same county. None of them are competing with each other, things like that. So our customers are willing and able to share what's working, what's not working, the biggest financial mistakes they've made. Like we created this culture inside of our company and inside of our community to build that network of people that are able to do that. But as a young farmer, you're going to have to go hunting and searching to find those people there. Otherwise, those problems, those mistakes that you are making, I've said this 1,000 times before, in the world of farming and ranching and just ag business in general, there is no small financial mistake, right? And again, if you're a young farmer coming back, you don't have the equity on your balance sheet, those mistakes will sink you in year 1 or 2 and your farming dream is gone, right? So again, it's just critically important that you understand that you have to surround yourself with the right people that are going to provide you with the mentorship, knowledge, wisdom, and experiences that they've been through so you don't make the same mistakes they do. So guys, after watching this, whether you're a first generation farmer or a 5th generation farmer, I guarantee you probably connected with a lot of what I said in today's video. So my friends, all the problems that I talked about are the exact things that we solve inside of Legacy Farmer with our community and coaching and consulting, but then also with our software called Farmer Metrics that helps our customers organize and simplify their finances so they know exactly where they're at and they're no longer guessing and hoping and praying that their financial decisions are going to work out long term. So at the end of the day, if you found value in what I said here and you feel like everything that we're doing inside of Legacy Farmer could be a fit for you, I'm going to invite you to click on the link below this video, fill out an application to speak to our team. It'll be a free call, and on that call, we're going to learn more about your operation. You're going to learn more about us, and very simply at the end, we're going to figure out, hey, are we a fit to work together or not? So click the link below, and we'll see you on the call.